Hello, South Rock. You're probably watching this or listening to it on Friday, and we call it Good Friday. What a day of contrast it must have been those 2,000 years ago. Jesus has been on trial the whole night before, and it was a trumped up mess of charges, politicized for the gain and out of the fear of the Pharisees. The apostles, most of them scattered, few, probably Peter and John, watching it up close, and uncertainty for them of what the outcome would be, of where this was all headed, even though throughout the course of his ministry and his time with these men, Jesus had spoken again and again of the final reality of his life before he ascended to heaven. So they were confused. They would not have said that it was a Good Friday. We have the benefit, and so we know why it's called Good Friday. But Jesus knew where he was headed. Jesus knew what his whole mission was, and so he didn't have any uncertainty. His confidence was rooted in who he was and what he came to accomplish. And I might pose the question for us: is our confidence rooted in who we are and the mission that God has called us to be light in the darkness, to be his church, even though the doors of the church building aren't available to us? The church has been scattered as its people are limited in their options to gather, but we're not at all limited in being able to reach out to a world that's hurting. And the good news that God came near in the person of Jesus, that he died in our place, is beyond our full comprehension. But what we can comprehend is that it's good. I think it's valuable for us to pause and recognize what it must have been like for those earliest of believers, for the sun to have gone down on Friday, and as far as they knew, their Lord and Savior lay in a borrowed tomb. That's worth pausing and reflecting on how large of a burden that might have been for them. It's worth pausing and reflecting for us to realize and again embrace that the cost that Jesus was willing to pay for us was beyond what human mind can fully comprehend, but it's available to us. And so it is, in fact, a Good Friday, even in the midst of all of our uncertainty, as it was so many years ago. Jesus was certain and confident, and so we can be certain and confident of this. If there's somebody nearby, why don't you just lean over and say, I am confident in the goodness of God, and that this is in fact Good Friday. Maybe if you want a reflection question, is think and reflect, maybe journal, on all of the things that Good Friday makes good in your life and in the life to come.